Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we will look at how to build out a Google Books search app using the Google Books API inside your React.js application using the Axios library. And this is actually the interface that we built using Bootstrap, using React Bootstrap. So we have a search field where we can enter the title of the book. So let's suppose you want to search books related to JavaScript. So if I write this, click on the search button, you will see it will fetch the books from the Google Books API and it will display these books related to JavaScript. So you can click, you can see the title, what is the author of the book, and you can even see the thumbnail of the book as well, so appearing. And if you want to get more information about this book, you can click the title and it will redirect you to the actual link of the book where you can read more about the book. So it's a simple book search application which we use the Google Books API for building it. You can change it, let's suppose PHP. So now it will search books related to PHP. It's a very simple application. You will get to know about how to use the Google Books API. So first of all, you do need to create a Google Cloud Console account. I've already created one. So right here, you do need to create, first of all, enable APIs and services. Go to this section and just search for the API called as Google Books API and enable that API. So just search for this API, Google Books API, and this API will come. You need to click on enable buttons. So I've already enabled this, and then you need to create your own API key. So just go to credentials and just create the API key which will be required. So right here you need to create this API key. I've already created one, so I will just store this. This is my API key. So now coming to the project, we just need to actually install some modules which we are using right here. Let me show you. We are using React Bootstrap. We are also using the Axios package. So you need to go to your command line and install these modules. So just, I've already created this brand new React.js project, npm Axios, React Bootstrap, and Bootstrap. So these three packages are required. So just install this. So I've already installed it. So now we will build out this application from scratch. So I will delete everything. All the source code is given in the description. So I will just make a simple functional component, and I will require all the modules one by one. So we need to include the React Bootstrap and Axios package using the import statement. So I will just import this. You will see Axios Bootstrap CSS file and the container class from React Bootstrap. And for this application, we need to declare two state variables. First is to keep track of the books, set books. We'll use the useState hook. Initial value will be an empty array. And then for showing a simple loading progress bar, we just need to declare this Boolean parameter loading, set loading, and the initial value will be false. So these two variables we have declared. And now coming to the JSX, we will use the container component of Bootstrap. And right here we're giving a Bootstrap class of margin 4, and right here in this h1 heading we'll say book search app, and I will divide this application into multiple component. So we will be having two components. First is a search bar. So I will declare this component search bar. The second one will be book list. So here these two components, in the search bar you will have a search field, and the book list will be books which will be returned from the API. So now we just need to create in the source directory a components folder and just declare these two components, which is search bar, JSX, and book list. So one by one, just make this functional component, and now we can include this simply by typing search bar. Visual Studio will automatically include that. So now in these two components, we just need to pass some attributes, some props. So we are passing this on search function. I will define this function right here, which is search books. So whenever someone searches for any book, this function will get execute, and right here we will define this function which is used for searching the books from the books API. So I will make this function as async. The query will be passed as an argument. So right here inside your search bar, I will go to this component, and inside this search bar component, as you can see, we are receiving an argument, which is we are passing this prop, which is on search. And now we need to declare the state variable for this component, which is the query, set query, and we'll use the use state hook. Initial value will be nothing. So this is specifically declared for keeping track of which search the user searches for the book. And now we'll have a simple React Bootstrap form. We'll use the form component from React Bootstrap, and we'll bind an on submit event handler. So whenever you submit the form, we'll execute this function. Give it a Bootstrap class of, and then we'll have a row, and inside the column component, and we'll be giving inside this we will have the form control. It actually takes the type parameter to be text. We'll give it a placeholder which will say search for books. The value will be equal to the query, that the variable that we defined, and then we'll be binding an on change. So whenever you write something in this search field, we will execute this function that we passed, which is set query, which is a hook function, and whatever is the target value entered, we can get easily by using this e parameter, which is automatically passed. So e.target.value. So we are using this hook function to actually get the value which is entered by the user. So we can do like this, don't have the closing tag. So if you refresh your application, go to localhost 5173, you will actually see, if I open this, I think we haven't started the application. npm run dev. So just refresh your application. You can't see the search field. I think it is saying that handle submit is not defined in the search bar component. So we do have defined this function. So we just need to define this handle submit. E parameter will be passed. So whenever you submit your form. So now you will see this bootstrap search field, and you will see. So this component is almost ready. Now whatever we type, whenever we submit the form, we do need a button as well. So right here we'll have the call component again. So this is for just for alignment purpose, we are using React Bootstrap. This is not mandatory for this tutorial. So button type will be submit, and I will use a primary button, which is a blue color block element, and simply the label will be search. If you refresh your application, you will find this button is added side by side. So whenever you submit your form, now inside handle submit, what I will do, first of all, e.prevent default to prevent the auto submission of the form, and then we will call this function that we passed as a prop on search, and pass the value, which is the query, actual query. So now we just need to define this function searching. So right here we will console log the query, which is, and then you will make a simple get request to the books API. So first of all, you will be setting the loading to be true. We will show the progress bar, and then here you need to configure your API key from your Google Cloud Console. So I have already created this API key. So this will be different for you. Just create your own API key and replace it here. And then we will have this endpoint. We'll make this get request to this REST API www.googleapis.com/books/version1 slash volumes question mark and q is equal to, and here you need to replace your query. So I will just make this a backtick symbol so that I can replace the dynamic value. So you can see we are replacing this dynamic query, and then also need to replace the API key. So key is equal to, this is your URL constructed. So we are passing the query and the API key in the URL, and then we need to make use of Axios library. We imported at the top inside this try catch block. So if any sort of error take place, we can console log this. So right here we'll make use of the Axios package and just make a simple get request. It actually contains this get function and pass this URL as an argument. So whatever the response is returning, we will actually store it in this hook function, and we can even console log it just to see on the browser. So if you now search for something, let's suppose JavaScript, and submit the form, you'll see it will receive an object from the API and the data will be returned. So this data, it's an array here. You can see it is returning the 10 books which are closely related to your search query. So each book has some properties right here: access info, ID of the book, search info, which contains more information, text snippet. So this is the thumbnail of the book, volume info, which contains description, image links, info link, language of the book, page count. So all sort of this information is returning from the books API. So we just now need to display this information. So we are storing it, and after we do this, we just need to hide the progress bar. So set loading again to false. So now inside this book list component, we are rendering it. So we need to actually pass this books as a prop. This is a, and also the loading, whatever is the value we need to pass. So we are passing these two props to this component book list. So in this book list component, now we are receiving these arguments. So we need to destructure it, books, comma, loading. So now in the JSX, depending upon this variable value, we will actually conditionally render it. So if the value of loading is true, in that case we need to show the progress bar. So in that case we need to return a progress bar. We'll use a simple bootstrap progress bar, aligning it in the center position, and we'll be using the spinner component coming from React Bootstrap, and don't need the closing tag. We can simply say spinner and put an animation here to border. So in this way, so if the loading is true, then we show this progress bar. So right here inside, if the book's length is 0, in that case we'll show no books is returned to us. So you'll simply say no books found, try another search. So now we'll show the JSX if the books have been there. In that case we will return, we need to display the books in a grid-like structure. We'll first of all loop through this array map function. We have passed it as a prop, and for each book, first of all we extracting the information, which is the ID, the volume info, which is from this book, and then we again need to extract the title, the author information, the image links, and the preview link. All this will be destructuring it from this volume info object. So now we just need to display this. So you'll be having the return here, and then we'll be showing inside this call, we'll just mention medium to 4, giving a key parameter to ID and giving a class name to. And you'll be showing it in a card structure. First of all, we'll be showing this image, and inside the body, so we will just show you. So in this way, you can display all this information. All the source code is given in the description. So we are showing the preview of the image, preview of the book. So we have this image links. It contains the thumbnail property, and then we are showing the title of the book. So we are showing the title, and then we showing the author information, everything. So this we are just using some Bootstrap to align it perfectly. So now you'll see your loading progress bar appearing. You just need to search for JavaScript now. Click on the search button. It is saying that no books is found. It is saying cannot read properties of undefined in app response. Sorry, we have made a spelling mistake. This needs to be small r inside here. Yeah, this needs to be response. So if you just write something like PHP, click on search. It is saying that row is not defined. So sorry, we haven't imported all the components. So now you'll see all these books will show related to PHP, top 10 books, and you can see the title, description, preview, thumbnail of the book. You can click on any of these titles to show to get to the book. It's a simple book search app using the Google Books APIs inside React.js. And we have used the Axios package and React Bootstrap for building the user interface. So you can search for any book, let's suppose related to coding. So here you can see. So thank you very much for watching this video, and do check out my website as well, freemediatools.com, which contains 1000 tools regarding audio, video and image. And I will be seeing you in the next video.